it's a defeat, and on the balance of it, they deserved it today. I don't know if it's the food on the way in that bamboozles us, but yeah, to be fair, they're stuck to a game plan. We knew how they were going to play. To be fair, we tried to counter it, but it just didn't work today. From defence, midfield, attack, we just wasn't cohesive enough, and I think if we was going to get really joy, I kind of said it before the game, we'll probably have to score the first goal, because I think once they got something to hang on to, their sort of game really works on a small pitch like this, and then it becomes a little bit of intricate sort of play, a bit of bravery, a bit of magic or something to kind of create a spark, and we just didn't get that. Then obviously we go a man down, and it's difficult. A few dubious decisions, you probably say, in terms of line. It looked offside, their second and third goal, but still, we're not going to hide behind that. They were well deserved to win. I think they won a lot of 50-50s, a lot of headers. Just the basics of any sort of game. If you want it more, you more than often you're going to win the game. And I think fair play to them. They deserved it today. Yes, there's injuries and people away. It's half term. It's always sometimes catches us. Where we've got a few teachers in the team. But yeah, I think it's injuries, and I think you saw obviously in the second half we made a few changes, and then those players got injured. So it's really a lot of disruption really compared to our usual sort of starting 11 that hasn't been changing over the last few weeks. That's brought us a lot of joy. So, but that being said, I just felt we just didn't do enough to get the win, and but when you go on these sort of runs, these games sort of happen, so we just put it down to a bad day at the office, get them back up on Wednesday, and then back away to Kensington on Saturday. We are very disappointed, and again, we usually have a Sunday for reflection, on Monday kind of what we did wrong, what we could have done better, but we're not going to put this defeat, this defeat doesn't put anything past the last sort of 7-8 wins that we've had already. So we're not a bad team, all overnight with lots of quality, so we'll get the confidence back up, and like I said, go away at Kensington Dragons, get the win, and then let's see where we are. Again, they've beaten us twice, and so we knew exactly what to expect. It's just, I just think we couldn't really get going today. They just knew to kind of make it niggly, trying to bitty, and in terms of their game plan, it just came to fore. We needed a bit more quality, I think, going forward. In the forward areas, that's where we could have got a bit of joy today, and that's unfortunate when you're missing a few of real star quality players like a Noah, Lewis, Josh, Jake. Those little players, Julian. These sort of players kind of produce something out of nothing, and they can really change the game, and that's what we really missed today. So again, we'll get them back in. I think we're planning to do maybe a light session, because like you said, with the injuries, they're catching up on us, and I just think it's that sort of time of the year, when you get niggles, and they start to kind of build up. Tafari picked up one, he had to come off early. Arthur, everyone knows how in Sinclair form he's picked up an injury. We started him on the bench, but he picked it up again. So we just got to make sure we're nurturing these injuries, make sure that they don't become long term, and make sure that we put out a strong side next week. Like I said, I think we've shown enough against, no disrespect to Indian Gymkhana. I think they'll probably be maybe a mid-table team, but we've shown enough against the better teams at the top, that we can produce when it really matters. So I'll just put it as down as a bad day at the office. Fair play to Gymkhana, congrats to them, and we will be back next week. As I said, no disrespect, obviously, we didn't have obviously any linesmen today, any assistant refs, so the ref obviously has to take a lot of it on, and I think once you start giving an early yellow, you've set the stall out. So I don't think he managed it well in that sort of respect, and you've got to stamp your authority early, just to make sure there's not, because once you give a soft yellow, then everything else becomes a yellow. I can't even imagine, remember how many yellows we've got. It's going to be, I hope Jack has been taking notes, so yeah, it's got really bitty, but again, that's Indian Gymkhana's game plan, isn't it? Make it bitty, make it, stop start, even like the sex of this, the ball goes off, they've got balls at the side and they don't want to kick it over, so it's those sort of little things that are a bit annoying, but it's up for us to be better, when we do play them at our ground, to stop this sort of hoodoo, on a bigger pitch, and make sure we get preference. So please, if you can, I think if you check obviously on the socials, there's lots of information of how to get there from King Cross, I think, and a few other links. So if you can, please get down to support our women's team. Big game, biggest game, probably for Clapton's history in terms of prestige. So if we can, get the sort of support we did that last game, who knows what can turn up. We can turn up another, cup shock. So if you can, please get down and support them. And also a big shout out to obviously people that travelled here. It's another hour and a half journey. So thank you all for coming down to support support us, and hopefully, we'll make you proud next week.